All right, come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Happy Saturday to everybody. Listen, I got the glasses on. I'm saying the future's still bright. Jay, are you saying the future is bright with them glasses on? I want to know from you.
Hey, I feel like the future's bright, but isn't today Sunday?
It's absolutely Sunday, man.
You
What's the
said
word?
you said happy Saturday.
Hey, did I say happy Saturday? Hey, happy Saturday. Hey, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You remember that song, man? Hey, what's the word, dog? Hey, I'm gonna
Uh,
need my inhaler after this one. Hey, what's the word? What's the word, man?
I can't call it.
Yeah, hey, we going bowling, man. And we playing against an SEC team. We opened up against an SEC team in Las Vegas, and now here we are once again playing an SEC team in Las Vegas, man. So your initial thoughts, you guys. I'm gonna open up the chat, but the StreamYard. We're gonna ask that you just turn those cameras off, but come on in, everybody. What's your thoughts, though?
You know what? I've always liked matching up against SEC teams.
Absolutely.
It gives us a taste, gives us a taste of what they say we can't do well. And I usually feel like we have a speed advantage. We normally don't have a size advantage, but I'm always very comfortable and confident playing against those types of teams, especially with our receiving core against those types of DBs and our DBs matching up against those types of receivers.
Have you ever played in the Las Vegas Bowl? I know you played in the national championship. We know that.
We lost against Utah.
I remember that game. Yeah, you're right. I remember that game.
Year.
Yeah, that's wild. Kyle Willingham was he? He wasn't the coach then, was he? No, because he was there. He's been there for like 20 years or something like that.
No, they weren't.
Urban Meyer. It was Urban Meyer, wasn't it?
I don't remember. I don't remember who the coach was. I was still such a rookie. I was a freshman. I wasn't really into the schemes. I didn't understand the staffs. I didn't have that part yet. I was a red shirt. I was just barely excited to go to Vegas, without grown-ups telling me what to do everywhere. So, I mean, truthfully, I took that game serious, but I could tell a lot of us didn't take that game serious.
Yeah.
Troy Polamalu took that game serious. Carson Palmer did, but we weren't focused then. And I could just remember that look in Coach Carroll's face after the end of that game when he called all of the returning players in. After the seniors left, he called the returning players in and he looked at us and he was like, it starts now.
Yeah.
Now it starts. It's like
that was your first year. Was that your first year?
That was my rookie. Yeah. That was my freshman year.
And that was the 6-6 season.
6-6. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Sonny Bird was a baller that year. He went crazy that year.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Yeah. So man, the initial thoughts though, I know this is a big time matchup. And a lot of people were pushing for Oklahoma, man, but it didn't work out. And I think it's for the good because the hostility. I don't know, man. It seemed like it's a lot of hostility between the fan base. Who knows what would have been happening, man? You would have seen sodas being thrown all over the place. You know what I mean? It would have been stuff. Hey, napkins. People would have been cold caught with napkins, man. You know what I mean? It just would have been crazy. Yeah. I mean, people would have been getting hit with pretzels. So the thing is, man, it's like,
yeah, man.
This game is a big time game. And I think Texas A&M, they got something to try to build on. This is going to be an SEC versus Big Ten matchup. Traditionally, it was a Pac-12 team. I'm still trying to find out how the USC, how were they able to get in there, because I know they were talking about the Sun Bowl at first, but now we see this. But, man, I think it's big time, man. So on the scale of 1 to 10, is this the best thing you think could have happened, as far as just not making a playoff game? I mean, because we're still going against a big time team, man.
Yeah, no, it's a top matchup. It's a top matchup that'll draw a lot of people. It's one part of the country versus the other part of the country rivalry. I think those are always really fun games. It's going to get a lot of national exposure. People from the Big Ten conference, I believe, will like to tap in. Those old school Pac-12 fans, they'll like to tap in. And then, of course, all the SEC country, they're going to tap in. So I like the matchup. I like the matchup
I do too.
Yeah, for just like the pageantry of it.
Yeah,
it's a great matchup. I think it's a uniform game because Texas A&M, I have a great deal of respect for their uniforms as well.
Absolutely.
And so it's going to be fun. They have a lot of history. It's a very like highly touted, highly treasured program, just like ours. And so it is going to be fun. But we got to bring our hard hat with us and strap up the work boots.
Absolutely. And for those who don't know, USC and Texas A&M both played two opponents of the same opponents, Notre Dame and LSU. USC beat Notre Dame 27-20. Texas A&M beat Notre Dame. Texas A&M beat LSU 38-23, and then Texas A&M beat Notre Dame beat Texas A&M 23-13, which was kind of a close game, and then we lost, of course, to Notre Dame, which was 35-49. So we could both lost against Notre Dame, both beat LSU. What's your initial thoughts? Can we gauge anything from that? Can we get anything from that? And then I'm gonna open up these calls.
Unfortunately, I have to say no because we had totally different offense in both of those games prior to this, to this team that we have now. So for me, I think it's going to be a slightly different USC team because we have a RPO now. We have a more sound offensive line who are executing better with Jaden Mayava at quarterback. I think we have a lot more down the field ability. We can stretch the field a little more. Miller was very talented at hitting windows, but like that style doesn't complement it. Like that style didn't complement our offense very well without the threat of the mobile quarterback. So now that we do have both, we have a quarterback that seems to make the throws that we need him to in situations outside of those weird, 2 interceptions that he threw in Notre Dame last week.
Yeah.
The week before that or whenever it was. I've been pretty happy with how Jaden has executed the offense. I really have. And I like that he trusts his matchups. He trusts his players. So I think that mentality going into, and he's a bigger frame. Into this type of a bowl game is going to feel to me like how Miller felt when he got the keys to the castle in his first bowl game against Louisville, like a year and a half ago or whenever it was, 2 years ago almost. And so I think Jaden's going to relish this moment and do his thing. And I think that the offensive line is going to grow with more confidence. We get Woody Marks back. I don't know if he's going to play in this game because he's a senior, but I hope he wants to get his last game.
Man, it's crazy that you're saying that because it's no official announcement yet, but these are some things I've heard. You guys take it with a grain of salt. I've heard Kamari Ramsey might not play. I think he's more. I'm hearing that he's going to declare. He has like a low first round grade, and then somewhere around between a first, second, and maybe third round grade. So I think he's coming out. That's what I heard. It's no official announcement. Mm-hmm. So that alone, and then of course we got some transfer portal action going on lately. I don't know if you've been seeing that. Sam Green. Hopefully Sam Green plays in the bowl game. Of course, we announced that yesterday. Miller Moss is officially in the portal. So, man, hopefully if we could just get the same team that was there for Notre Dame, I think we'd be straight. What's your thought?
Man, I hate to hear Sam Green in the portal.
I hate it. I love Sam Green. I got big love for him, man. And he's been fighting off blocks real well. And I'm gonna start taking these calls. He's been doing this thing. Let's get into these calls real quick. Brian, what's the word?
What up,
What's going on? What's going on,
what's
Jay?
The word,
what's going on, Jay?
What up,
Jay? Man. Not much. Want to chime in and give my opinion on it. I think it's a good brand matchup. You got to remember, last time we were in the Vegas Bowl, we had a good showing. We pulled it out against LSU. So now you got SC against another SEC team. So I think it's good from a money perspective. Us going to the Sun Bowl really not going to generate any revenue, but us playing against Texas A&M is going to generate some more revenue. I'm more concerned about us having enough to take with us on a trip. If you want to be honest, I don't see any kid that's declaring or that's jumping in the portal. That probably just going to play. So it's been a lot of smoke, a lot of hearsay, but I guess we have to see how it plays out. I would hope that a lot of these kids will want to play in a big matchup like that. But right now, it's not looking like it. I don't see Kamara Ramsey, if he's projected to go, or Woody Marks. I don't see them playing, which opens it up for Quentin Joyner and some more of the young safeties, the young talent. But as long as you have a solid showing, I think it's going to be beneficial to the freshmen and to the younger players.
No doubt, I totally agree. Jay, you had anything you want to say on that?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I actually stand with you. I really think it. Yeah, it's such a 50-50 coin toss whether you need to play that last game if you're considering declaring. It's such a 50-50. I've seen guys get their combine invitations based on their last game that was in a bowl game. I've seen guys play so well in a bowl game that they got invited to senior games later, or to give them an opportunity to showcase their talent at on a larger platform. So
right.
But I just pray that that all of the young men use discernment. I promise I will support all of them in whatever decision that they feel is best for their future.
Right.
But I would love to see them play one more time with the Cardinal and Gold. If
are you talking about Jaywalk? Are you talking about the portal players? Or are you the kids that are jumping in the portal? Or are you just talking about kids that might be declaring this is their last year period? Okay.
Both. Yeah. Most likely kids that might be declaring, like a Kamari or a Woody. I mean, I can name a few, but I don't want to throw those names out there. I don't want to speak it. So I'm not going to put it out there. But I can name a few guys who, might be on the fence, like kind of on the bubble right now. And then some of the players who are considering whether they want to wear Cardinal and Gold again next season. That,
if you remember,
that those are trusted sources. And if I don't have permission to speak on it, then I don't. But I just pray that you all who are listening, we love you. We cherish you. We love to see you play, even if it's your last game. Don't go out with Notre Dame being the last opportunity, the last tribute we got to see.
Yeah, for real. Hey, last year, if you remember, Chris Thompson Jr., he went to, I think, Tulsa. He ended up playing in the Holiday Bowl, which was a good thing. Romello Height, I don't think Romello Height played after he.
No, but the receiver did. What was the kid's name? I like him. Went to the Dolphins. What was the receiver name?
Taj Washington. Yeah, he did.
Taj played.
Yeah, he played. He played. Yeah, but it was a lot of guys that didn't play. Now, I think we're gonna have Eric Gentry back, and I think Rajon Davis should play in this game. And so that should help out a little bit, but. I guess Easton, Matson, Raines, and Mason will play too as well, of course.
Well, if you're projected to go high, first round like Kamara Ramsey, I think you said it was late first round, maybe early second. I wouldn't expect for him to play. To be honest, I think Woody has pretty much solidified his resume. That kid is an absolute animal, and I think that we underutilize him in the run game this year. More so, if you have some uncertainty at the quarterback position. And you got some big offensive linemen like that, you got to lean on that run. You have to lean on that run to help them out. We had a tight end to go down. So that running game, I think it could have carried us to at least another 3 wins this year, honestly, if you ask me.
I agree.
No doubt.
You understand what I'm saying? So, but as far as with the portal players, man, and you and I talked about it on social media earlier today, USCJ. At this point, man, we got to treat this like a business. And I'll just repeat what I said earlier, then I jump off. We got to treat this like a business, which means that we as the fans can't get our personal feelings or emotions tied up into it. The way I look at it, they're gonna have to take the Bill Belichick approach. Whatever offer they decide to offer to a kid, make your offer and leave it right there. Other than that, man, this is free agency. This is free agency, and a lot of these kids are going to the highest bidder. So I want, as much as I would love to keep all of our players, the ones that are considered to transfer, especially at the wide receiver position, you have to remember, You have to do what's best for them and their family. If they feel like their market value is higher, then hey, by all means, get out there. But Michael Jackson III thought that last year too when he went for more playing time. Now he's back in the transfer portal.
Yeah, and
So
hopefully, I mentioned that today. Hopefully he comes back. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully he comes back. But any kid that's looking at doing that, just keep in mind, no matter how much you get, you have to go out there and perform. No matter where you go, no matter how much you get, you got to go out there and perform, which means that you got to catch, you got to block on the perimeter, and you got to take care of the ball. So with that, man, I'm gonna step out and let somebody else come on.
Okay, yeah, B, yeah, I totally agree with you, man. But definitely appreciate you tapping in, man.
All right, my man, appreciate it. Fight on.
All right, fam, fight on.
Good to see you, Jinx. Man.
Cardinal and gold
and bold.
How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, USCJ, and how you doing, J-Walk?
What's up, my bro? I love you.
How's everything going, man?
Love your handle.
I appreciate that. I'm excited for the matchup. It's in Vegas, so a lot of USC fans have no excuse to not make that trip. The timing after Christmas is a little shaky, but I would rather plan to try to go to Vegas than El Paso or a Sun Bowl or something like that. So I think that's good. I went to the Holiday Bowl against Louisville, and I had a great time. You know what I mean? It was a good experience. So I'm hoping against Texas A&M, I think it's all about Maeva. You know what I mean? If he can just show some glimpses of continued growth, if he can just show that he's going to be that leader, then I think that can catapult us into the next year. Don't even mention the transfer portal. I mean, I'm just thoroughly depressed about it. You know what I mean? Just the rumors I hear and who's going to join. And, the funny thing is Michael Jackson, he was one of the people that I felt like I wish if he would have stayed, we would have benefited so much of having him on that roster. I mean,
he never dropped the ball.
Never dropped the ball, made key catches, had key touchdowns, and he also worked that interior too, similar to Mekhi Lemon. So, yeah, the transfer portal, I'm kind of pissed about it. You know what I mean? I don't like where it's going, and this is like regarding USC and also in college football as a whole. I just don't like the direction. It's almost hypergamous. It's like a dating market where everybody's just jumping around. It's not a good look for college football.
It's extremely hypergamous.
It's too much, man.
Yeah, no. I stand on that. I at this point, I cannot, knowing what I know.
Boy, he had to take the glasses off for this one.
So knowing what I know
is rough, man.
About college football and how abusive it is, how treacherous it could be to student athletes. I cannot be mad when an athlete needs to go and get what they can get.
Absolutely.
Are we talking about compensation?
I'm talking about compensation. I'm talking about opportunity. I'm talking about respect. You have no idea how people speak to young men behind closed doors. You have no idea how professors target student athletes behind closed doors. You have no idea how much goes on outside of what you get to see on Saturdays. No one can fully understand the gravity of it. And in a place like USC, where everything is not just under a microscope, but so heavily weighted, every single breath you take is so heavily weighted that a lot of times it just feels like, is this worth it? Is it worth it to go through this here when I can go do what I've dreamt of doing, which is play a game I love, have fun, have an opportunity, make a little money, but really just enjoy this process? It doesn't have to feel like everything I do life and death ramifications on it.
I would just put this on the table. A couple of questions. Does the degree matter anymore?
It does.
Are we have any long-term goals? Everyone's not going to go to the league.
It does degree, but that's why they're going to get their money. So you just proved my point. Everyone's not going to the league.
And Cardinal Gold. Think about this.
That money doesn't last forever.
It doesn't last. But think about this, Cardinal Gold. Think about a guy think of, for example, the guy at Michigan. He's getting, I think it's said to be $10 million or whatever. That money, any event he gets hurt, that money, something like that on that type of level. Tell me where and what type of corporate America, unless you just really have a high-paying job in corporate America, will you ever see that type of money?
Oh, definitely, you're correct. Sports is one of the fast tracks to get that fast cash. But here's the point: that's only the exception. There's only going to be a couple of those quarterbacks that are going to get that opportunity,
right? But you still got guys getting. I heard some numbers last night, some crazy, even the 500,000, and that's not even for a guy that's starting. I got friends that play; their kids play at another school. I'm not going to name that school, but they're making. 300,000, 400,000. Like it's nobody. I mean, money like that, it could be a major investment or however they choose to use it. But that's money that just doesn't. I know when I was that age, it didn't just fall in my lap. You get what I'm saying?
So let me ask a real rooted question, because what I'm seeing on Twitter is a lot of guys are saying, "Hey, man, we just need to pay like other schools. We need to do this. We need to." I
agree.
This is what I'm asking you. USC has a culture. Are we going to have a culture, or are we just going to be a semi-program, a semi-pro team? Because USC as a package, we're a great university. We're top 25 academically. We're a great location. We have great networking. We have great legacy. We're the biggest self-employer in Los Angeles. We're just not Oregon. We can't just chase what Oregon does.
I don't think it. I don't think it's chasing what Oregon does. And I don't know if you saw what Seward Cravens, what he said yesterday. I kind of retweeted what Seward Cravens had to say yesterday, and it was referencing. Oh well, here. Let me give it to you real quick. This is Seward Cravens.
That was one of the tweets, USCJ. That was one of the tweets.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He said it doesn't matter who you hire or recruit. He said if you don't come with the check, you're not bringing in a top 25 class. He says, every coach I've talked to across the country tells me the same thing. We offer more than anyone else, so he committed. So my thing is this. Yes, USC has a standard, they're a research school, but the bottom line is I'm covering football. And the football program, in order to maintain the status of the prestige, and I don't know if you heard us, Rayshawn Davis' dad was on here just a few weeks ago, and he said this. He said nobody cares about tradition anymore, and he wasn't talking about his son, but he was talking about more so just the climate and the environment that we're in right now. He said nobody cares about tradition, nobody cares about the national championships, but all they caring about is getting the bag. And we can blame this on really the NCAA because they're not putting any type of regulation. So is USC supposed to fall way behind? That's my question to you, and get lost in the sauce, or do we compete the same way everybody else is? Because think about football generates multi-million-dollar money, big time. Jay, you got anything you want to say on that?
Man, there's way too much. I think that's a whole nother video, to be honest.
Yeah, it is.
I'll just tell you an example. Look, I live in Orange County. There's a young athlete out here who's a 5-star. He played in a high school playoff game about 2 or 3 weeks ago. About 3 weeks ago, he balled out. He went crazy. He did really well. Now I talk to this young man periodically. I get to run into him. I get to talk with him. He's got a very good head on his shoulders. USC heavily recruited him. He chose another route. And I think the route that he chose may end up working out for him, right? With the idea and concept that he understands that he may be able to come back here if it doesn't, right? USC might be, for a lot of the kids who go out of state, they have USC in the back of their mind as I might be able to come back home if it doesn't work out over there. I'm still that recruit, right? So that's also one thing that we have to recognize because of the accessibility and the flexibility of the portal. Athletes now do have two options. They have a primary who might pay them the most to give them some exposure, get an opportunity to travel. And then they know my backup plan might be SC. It's a safety net. And not that we need to ever feel like we're somebody's backup plan, but it just is the nature of decision-making in this era, especially if USC isn't coming with the check that some of them other ones do. Now, long story short, this young man played in his final high school game, and he did great. His NIL evaluation went from like 700 something to 1.2 million after that game. $1.2 million after that game. And his coaches, who he committed with, was like, we understand. And all he has to do is say, did you see my last game? So what you had me with, now see what I could produce at the next level. And if you don't understand that is the climate that we're in, then you are unfortunately you're not evolving mentally in the pace of the game. The game is outpacing your mentality, and that's not an attack on you or anyone. It's just that is what it is. There's no reason crying over a system that we're now operating in. It's just a matter of adapting, evolving, overcoming, and executing so we can be competitive. And right now, we are still very antiquated because we think that kids care about the fact that we have, 8 Heisman Trophy winners, 13 national champ, whatever we have, all the accolades they do. It is not that does not weigh heavier than take this 1.2.
So here's my take on what you just said. If that's our direction, I'm okay with it, right? If we're gonna go ahead and just pay for the best athletes, compensate them, get the best NIL situations, I'm okay with that. But this is what the Trojan fan base does. Arizona State does well. All of a sudden we start chasing, oh, look what Arizona State did. They did well. Well, Arizona State has a strong culture. I'm pretty sure they don't have the highest NIL deals over there. Indiana's doing well. SMU is doing well. I think the issue at SC is culture, not just paying all these players. Because one thing USC doesn't want to do is we don't want to have we don't want to be paying athletes millions of dollars and they're sitting on the bench.
No, I totally agree with you. It has to be a balance.
It all starts with culture. So 100%. Now, but I'm gonna tell you right now, teams that perform well, there has to be something internal that is working. Okay. Teams that don't perform well, again, same.
Yeah, I hear you.
We have an issue at the moment, as my observation is, we do have an issue with a little bit of culture. And I don't know what that means, but whoever is working on the inside of the program as we speak, that is their unique and should be their magnificent obsession to determine what that is, because we have a bunch of staff who are not from this area. We have a bunch of staff who have tried to adopt the USC identity that they saw growing up or that they know about or that they read about. You've got to find people who lived it. And that was one of the underlying differences is when I was there, people were around who were always around.
I hear you. And I not only do I agree with you, I'm not saying this is an absolute solution, but when everyone talks about the great Pete Carroll era and all the, the winning streak and all that, they forget one person. The AD was Mike Garrett. And when Mike Garrett wanted a certain player from the hood, he took his jersey that was retired and put it on Darnell Bing. Those are the things that made SC different from every other school. And I don't know how we can get back to that, but there has to be that connection. I was listening to you guys a couple of weeks ago and you nailed it. There has to be that connection to the people of Los Angeles, like yourself and other brothers. Like right now, Chris Claiborne, I don't know if he's going to get it, but that would be a great connection.
It'd be a great,
that's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
That would be a great connection.
Well, one thing, and I'm with you, but one thing we cannot overlook, and Trojan family, listen to me. Right now, our program, we got killed, right? You know that they systematically dismantled everything about our program. Like, you do know that.
Oh, yeah.
Not just you. I'm talking to the world that's listening. Our program was eviscerated. Fine by fine, piece by piece, article after article, slander after slander, deconstructed. It's like a hammer. A hammer can do a lot of things. Over a long time, it can slowly build something together and put it piece by piece, and you have this beautiful empire that you've been able to construct one nail, one blow, one strike at a time. That's what we had. But the system took that same hammer, and that same hammer that was such a wonderful tool for growth destroyed everything in seconds. Seconds. Destroyed the reputation, the integrity, destroyed players' connections and relationships. When I tell you that they forbid us, the championship class, the most recent winning national championship class, they forbid us from coming to the campus and university. They forbid us from talking to the kids and having any type of relationship with them. They forbid us from being connected with them. They banned Reggie. They banned us from having any involvement because we were the ones that got the whole system broken down. No. After all those court and litigations, and it turned out that the NCAA lost in every single front. They lost in civil, they lost in federal, they lost in everything, and it came out that Reggie Bush was innocent. Whether they want to acknowledge it or not, he was never found guilty of any of the things that they accused him of. Most people don't know this. Most people don't know that they lost their suits. Then the NCAA still withheld their fines and violations. So people don't know the truth. But if you dig enough, you'll realize, and that's why Reggie is taking legal action. That's why he's doing that, because he won every single case. But yet he's still being blamed for everything. And it wasn't him. It was the powers that be who hated to see the success that we were on and saw that there was no way to stop it. This system, this game is run by the East and South Coast. That's where the whole infrastructure of the NCAA is. It's all built out there. That's all they have out there is football, pretty much. So if they can't be the national power and we got the West Coast winning everything, that's not good business. That's not good business. So right. They needed to create a Southern Eastern champion and have them be at the top of the pyramid forever, because that's where all the resources are matriculated now. They need to paint the big bad wolf, the USC Trojans. What do you mean? Like people say we're surfer boy California dudes. South Central, that's where USC is, in the heart of South Central. That is as hood as it gets. These are families that are not wealthy, that are on this football team. These are kids that came from the streets that are trying their best to get out of those streets. And so when they take money to go and perform and play now that they're allowed to, I almost have to have a heart for them, because I recognize that most of them are not going to play at the next level. And we cannot ever forget that this program is still in recovery. It is in remission. We had a pulse when Lincoln when he first came. That's because we had a once in a lifetime legendary player at quarterback who won a Heisman. But the truth is, we still got to build. We still got to grow, and we need the culture to do that. I ramble, but
well, hey, Cardinal Gold, man, we definitely appreciate you. I got to take some more of these calls.
Yeah,
man,
sure.
you sound like somebody else I've talked to before. Are you? What's your?
It was Instagram? Under D.
Okay.
It was under D.
Okay. D, yeah. Okay. Man,
it's great to talk, man. I love to talk with you anytime, bro. And if you ever want to talk offline, man, I'm here for it.
Yeah. I'll message you, SCJ. I've talked to him before.
My man.
Okay. Hey, I definitely appreciate you, fam.
All right, peace.
All right, follow. Keith.
Yo, we took too long.
I'm right here.
Man, you disappeared on us, man. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? I'm sorry. we got things going on over here.
No, somebody said, you know what somebody said to me the other day? They said, why is Keith always in the club? I said, hey, Keith, I said, I don't know.
Hold on.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh.
This is where I live.
Hey, I said, I don't know, but next time I'm going to let him tell you, because I can't tell you that.
I live at the Belize American Community Center.
Yeah.
We have. I live with 10 musicians and songwriters, and every Friday we have a entertainment. We have live crowds here. We do a live stream. Um, I bartend and sing sometimes. So um, the guy that hosts his name's Daddy Tracy. He's from Belize. He's a 1990s Grammy winner. He's a big star.
Man, send me the
And he
address.
2166 West 31st Street. Right up the street from USC, believe it or not.
Yo, I got to come. I got to come. Wait, 21.
Love and hate can never be friends. Oh no. Yeah.
Hey, man, I got you. So, man, look, hey, you, and look, what's your initial thoughts, though, man? This Texas A&M, USC, Las Vegas Bowl matchup.
I think it's a pretty good matchup. Regardless of the records, it's a good matchup. They're two good teams. They're making their identity. I don't care what the record says. That's behind us now. It's always forward, always forward. Remember that.
Yeah.
And good things going to come out of this win, and we're going to come out, go back to spring, and start all over again.
I want to take us back to last year during the Holiday Bowl. Everybody, I remember other podcasts that everybody was saying, USC podcast, by the way, USC is going to get killed. Louisville's the top 15 defense in the country. I get the feeling that it's kind of the same type of feeling that they have. But, I think we can come out here and establish this thing, man, and try to move and groove. Jay, what you think?
I feel like it's like a rivalry game, man. You throw all the records out. It's every man for himself. It's wild time, baby. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be physical.
Because the kids in the Louisville game, you notice they had a whole different personality, regardless of Grinch gone. It's a bowl game. It's time to have fun, get loose. It's like being in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're there to have a good time, and these guys, it's like, it's here you go. It's what I want to say. It's like success, but not really success. But it's giving you something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No.
And right, and it's extra practice, and you got recruits still tune in, and someone who's local come watch. Hey, is that true? We got one coming in this month, the quarterback.
Yeah, Hassan, he's coming in. He graduates December 16th. Hassan out of Centennial, and he's actually going to get bowl preparation. Believe it or not, he'll be
in uniform on the sideline, maybe. Huh?
I don't know how that works. I don't know if he can actually.
Well, he'll be on the sideline. He won't be in uniform.
Yeah. There you go. I don't. That's yeah. So, but I do know he'll be there. He graduates December 16th. He enrolls in USC the 17th. Yep.
Okay. Good deal.
Yeah,
so, hey man, to reiterate on what John was saying earlier, man, I understand exactly what you're talking about, because it's the same thing I was saying about that whole ordeal what happened with Reggie. But what I did not know is that the whole team was banned from everything.
It was an unofficial, man. When we came by, they treated us like crap. Like I went to try to go into the locker room and hug Clay Matthews. I wanted to hug him because I was close with Clay when he was a walk-on. All right, he was a walk-on, and he just was working his way up and earning it. And I just tried to take care of my boy. Like, he was cool. I loved him, and I loved his older brother too, who was a safety. And I went to go hug Clay, and bro, the security, the way they treated me was outrageous. There was a Lindell. They escorted him out with security. Because he was like, what? What you mean I can't go in the locker room and say what's up to the boys? He was like, are you crazy? I want to go say what's up to my linemen.
I didn't know that happened. That happened?
They escorted my man out.
Wow.
And I'm just trying to tell you, it was like that. And so that's why I had a lot of passive aggressiveness. And I was like lightly resentful about because we never got the experience to go and give back. We never got the ability to say, hey, look, young fellas, this is how we did it. We could share some of these gems with you. This is a little bit of what it was. And the thing was is it just felt so weird. Like it was an empty feeling. It was an empty feeling. And and they would say no, the other players weren't banned from the facilities, but when we went, it was no love.
But that's
Another thing
why.
I wanted to touch. Hold on. Another thing I wanted to touch base on when Cardinal and Bo was talking about how Pete Carroll was in touch with the community. Where I'm staying right now, Pete Carroll was in touch with Daddy Tracy, and you'd be in touch with the community, and they did things together. And I believe Daddy Tracy had an office in Heritage Hall while Pete was there. So that was, that's one thing Lincoln needs to, I'm saying, reach out, because he's not really getting the support that he needs.
No, Lincoln,
he's not really reaching out.
He needs foot soldiers. He needs foot soldiers who are community people, who ain't afraid of them, who understand how to move and groove in the element, who understand how to create safe passage, who understand how to negotiate treaties, who understands how to work the environment to get access to the young people who are thriving in those harsh environments, who have ability that could play at SC. And not just that, it's just you get the heart of the people in the community back. Like you just got to do outreach. You got to, like we did.
Well, you know what's crazy is my guy Kamasi, that was one of the things that he wanted to. Well, we Absolutely. Do. We feed the homeless. We do it downtown. Matter of fact, we ordered. I ordered a bunch of stuff. Little Caesar's Pizza, man. We went down there. Mason Cobb was on there just not too long ago with us, him and Anthony Lucas. But he wanted to implement a safe passage setup to where these guys can get around. Because I mean, those who don't know, who are outsiders, around USC in the area, you just got to be careful. You know that. And so we wanted to create a safe passage, and you got to do that being connected with people in the community. You can't do that outside of the community. And to think you just can move around and not only that, it just helps out with your recruiting as well. People that are very familiar with, it's a separate thing though, but people that are familiar with the area, man, really need to be able to have the ability to tap in. But if you're not willing to open up and, it's just my way or the highway, you're going to you're destined to fail. I can promise you that. It can't just be that way all the time.
Right.
No, that's true, man. Like, imagine, like Pete was so awesome. Listen, let me tell you the potential of what we almost had at USC. All right. We almost had at one point at USC. This might sound like bullcrap, but you can fact check me on it. I was there. At running back, Lindell White. Well, let me start from the upperclassmen. Justin Fargas, Sultan McCullough, Reggie Bush, Lindell White. We did have Chauncey Washington. We had a kid, Desmond Reed.
Man, that was crazy.
Other running backs that I'm not going to name. But we also almost had Adrian Peterson, Maurice Jones-Drew, and Marshawn Lynch. All kids from the city that Coach Carroll had personal relationships with because he went and tapped in with the community. He was from NorCal, so he knew about Marshawn already. He knew about what he was doing in the Bay. But Marshawn made the best decision. He stayed home and he became beast mode. But he was also a USC recruit at the same time as we had all the other legends that were there. Meanwhile, we had Mike Williams, Patrick Turner, Dwayne Jarrett, and almost had LeBron James before he is like, I'm going to go pro. Most people don't even know that LeBron James was considering SC as a school to play for at receiver or tight end. Again, another inner city kid that Coach Carroll could connect with. It was just his ability to connect with the source community and environment of those players. Me, so many. I could just name so many, and then also could put the the white collar on and go up at Newport and get the and Santa Margarita and get the like preppy guys that usually could throw the ball blocking well and kick the ball, right?
Right.
He just understood. Like he knew where to find long snappers. He knew where to find holders, punters.
Right.
He knew where to go get the goons. He knew where to get the goblins. He put it together. One thing about Pete, what most people don't give Coach Carroll credit for is he assembled us in the middle of the gangster rap era where cripping and blooding was still very real.
Oh my God.
And
that was at the height, the 90s and 2000s.
A lot of players were from separate neighborhoods, but he got us to do this because he connected with us and we believed in him. And he
had a pass in Nickerson Gardens, if you believe it or not.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I saw a picture of it. Yeah, I saw a picture.
He did what he was supposed to do, man. He was a foot soldier, and I mean, he didn't go alone, but he did. He was there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thing. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just crying over like spilled milk, but I just know that me seeing it firsthand, understanding the framework of what could be done, what has to be done, how to compel young people to see a very progressive future in Cardinal and Gold. I don't know if it's being done at an exceptional level where it connects to the heart of the people, where you get and lay your thumb in the community and really can look these caretakers, these parents, a lot of them single moms, single fathers, a lot of grandparents, elders, and really help them project why their children need to be a part of USC, not just football related, but you can we paying them the right way so that there's not an immediate pressure on the family where some of the NIL appropriations can go and help bridge the gap for the absence of the young man in the family who was probably going to grow up to make money to contribute to the family, right? You guys got to understand how this game works. A lot of these kids make their choices based on what can I send and allocate to my mom and my pop back at the crib while I go and live this dream. Because
if you can get it early, that's a bonus.
And if I stayed at home at 18, I'm getting a job and I'm helping with the bills. But if I'm in college, I'm not getting a job. So I need to make sure that what I could have made or more than what I could have made being at the home can go home while I'm still pursuing my dreams. If we as a SC student body and facility don't recognize some of the pressures, immense pressures that these young men are going through, it's not about your logo anymore. It's not about that anymore. And if it was, well, recently, this isn't carrying as much as it used to 12, 15, 20 years ago.
Fact.
Because we're still in the undertone of heavy sanctions, fines, violations, and slaps on the wrist. So we got to systematically dig our way out of this grave.
Keith, you can hold tight, man. I got to take some of these calls real quick. I got a bunch on stacking up, but you can hold tight if you want. Okay, hold on for 1 second. Leon, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, Jay, man. Just coming.
Hey, my apologies on the wait. How's everything going?
Man, it's good. Just got finished working like 16 straight hours, man. I saw y'all was on.
16 hours? My God, I salute you, my brother.
I work in IT, and this is when we get all our work done for the first.
You work at what? Say that one more time.
I work in IT, computers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What up,
man? What's your thoughts on everything, man? Bowl game, the matchup.
I mean, I like it, man. It's another opportunity for us to kind of, go in the SEC and put our foot on their throat, like we did LSU. But who's going to be playing, man? So many rumors going around with the players, but I ain't gonna get into all that. But just it's another opportunity for the players to kind of step up, you know what I mean, and just show the development and put USC back on the map in terms of putting USC in people's mouths at the end of the season, going to off season on a good note.
Absolutely. Not sure who all is playing, man. That's kind of tomorrow. The portal opens up, so we can kind of get a better idea. I think tomorrow whether guys go in or out, but I kind of feel like we kind of up against all the odds are stacked up against us, kind of like it was last year, and I think we can kind of have that same mentality, man. The younger guys, which the younger guys are now sophomores. Last year, Jacoby Lane and all those guys, they came out and absolutely performed. I think we could have that same type of performance, man, if we just the younger guys stay focused. Because I'm not sure, like you said, who's playing. Jay, you had anything you want to say on that?
I stand on exactly what you just said.
Absolutely.
And Jay Walk's right, man. You know, culture, man. Like, this is the time Lincoln Riley needs to like have a come to Jesus moment to himself. Like,
yeah,
we're gonna be a hard-nosed team, and we just gonna go out here and just out tough people and beat people up. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the time a head coach needs to step up and be a head coach, man. For real. Like, let's go. Stop all this. I don't know, man. I sometimes be getting sick and tired of it, man. I just want him to step up, come into one of them post press conferences, say, "Yo, it's my fault. I'm the head coach. It all starts with me. I want to hear about the coaches and the players." It starts from the top, man. Take ownership from the top, set a mentality, and let's go, man.
How about just run the ball? How about that?
That's part of it, right?
Yeah. I mean, just don't try to do anything because you feel that itch and want to throw. How about just establish the run if it's working, and let's impose our will on somebody. You know what I mean? You know, we lost games trying to do it the other way. Matter of fact, who was that we saw yesterday that played? Oh, Texas. They did the same thing that we did. Throw it in the red zone where they could have been established in the run. Yeah, same thing.
Hey Jay.
By the way, what's the update on Woody Marks?
I'm not sure. I'm not. I got it. I'm gonna text his. I'll text his. Yeah, I'll find out. Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, Leon.
No. You good? I was just gonna say I sent a tweet out earlier in the season when everybody started talking about Lincoln Riley's not running the ball, and I said, "Yo, let's just go in there with 2 tight ends or 3 tight ends and say, yo, we're just gonna run the rock all game. Let's go, man. Just punish them."
Hey, let me ask you. Did you hear what Matt Ince said? Matt Ince, for those who don't know, just took the Fresno State job, but I kind of feel like, well, I'm not gonna say that. But did you hear what he said in the press conference about we're gonna run the ball, we're gonna run the ball, we're gonna run the ball? That was kind of like, man, I think he might have felt some type of way not running the ball, man. Because one thing, we preserve the defense by running the ball, by just constantly getting off the field and not establishing the run. It's some issues, and I think Matt Ince, he gets it. And he kind of alluded to that in his press conference, but he was kind of like saying it as if he was trying to make a point.
Yeah, I heard what he said, but here's the other thing. I say it too. What is it, tongue in cheek? Where I say put 2 or 3 tight ends in and run the ball. That's what I want to see. But if we do that all game, every game, and the wide receivers are getting 5 tosses a game, they're gonna be pissed off. So I kind of understand why he doesn't do it. And the whole Matt Ince, I don't even talk about that clown. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about that dude, man, because he might have cost us Madden for him. But anyway,
well, let me double back on that because, and not, I think, okay, it might have been a situation to where Matt Ince, I'm just, this is hypothetical. I think it might have been a situation to where they kind of gave him a ultimate, we need to know this is signing day. I think the whole situation was shady, being that it was during signing day, but I don't know the background of it, so I don't want to jump to conclusions. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't know how it was offered and how everything had to go, so I don't want to. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. In other words, that's what I'm saying.
I understand why they did it. They need a head coach. They need to recruit just like everybody else, right? I understand why they did it, but that and then also the UCF article that came out, going back to what Jay Walk said, everybody's against USC wanting to be good, so they have to make sure they keep the South in the East Coast at the top of college football. And we've seen these articles that we know have probably no basis.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I understand why they did it, but it's like thing after thing after thing. But I agree with them. We need to run the ball, man. You got all these good running backs. Give them the ball, and then when they start putting 8 men in the box, go downfield.
Absolutely, no, I totally agree. And to your point with Lincoln Riley, the day after they said he might have connection with Central Florida, Scott Frost is named the head coach. He's going back to Central Florida, which was crazy. So I don't know. That whole thing was crazy too. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but I just man, USC players know that, the real fans, we support them. You know what I'm saying? And we behind them 100%. We ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? Just keep fighting, man.
Absolutely. Well, Leon, I got to take some more of these calls, family. I appreciate you tapping in, though.
Man, I would love if in the off season they spend 2 days a week minimum. They should just put up 50 heavy bags and give the boys, buy 200 pairs of boxing gloves and just let them boys well on the punching bags all day, every day.
You don't get no harder than that, man.
There's a huge, you know what I'm talking about. But
I know.
There's a huge correlation with natural testosterone, natural strength, aggression, productivity when you are forced to punch and fight.
Or you can give them to me for a month.
Hey, Keith, you ain't gonna hit him with a microphone, are you?
Oh no!
He gonna hit him with that high note. High note, knock him out.
I'll be hitting him with a lot of bass.
Yeah, man.
I think you could put on your show, man. A little segment or something, man.
Absolutely. Hey,
go ahead, man. Take it easy.
Hey, Leon, thank you, man. I appreciate you tapping in, man. Kamasi, how you doing?
He's not on yet.
Let's see. Kamasi.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, family? Man, my apologies on the way. It's so many people in here right now. I can't even begin to tell you. I got a bunch of people. But what's the word?
Hey, man, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, beloved? Peace to you, Brother Jay Walker.
Man, amen. Good to hear your voice.
The reason I jumped in, y'all was on my mind. I wanted to do a prayer with y'all. You know, Hufanga and Caleb playing one another. That's two of my favorite top two out of my top five. And so I stayed on and listening to all of the shifts of where this conversation is going. Man, it's been highly emotional. You know, it's been, times where I got hot at certain things about the NIL situations and the emotions have shifted. But I wanted to start off saying, Mr. Walker, the point that you made as it pertains to how whatever happened that the alum, the big brothers, the U's, the Kerry Cobras, Kerry was a coach, so he was in there, but the Lindells, the Reggies, the hands-off situation, whatever happened, and for that to be the case in LA was left such a big dent in that big brother possibility. So me as a person, always wanting to have purpose and have a voice through music, football, Kerry Cobra and we ended up uniting as comrades as he was managing a music artist. And so all of a sudden he calls me to talk to Jack Jones. And that right there, between my personal relationship with God and these brothers on this call who had a personal relationship with the Lord, you know where I'm going. It ended up being that God allowed me to have a voice at USC because Kerry Cobra was there. But I got to understand later, since I was never a USC follower or a fan like that, that what happened is that people like Jaywalk, people like Lindell weren't allowed to big brother the guys. And so I began to be so honored that I could be there in any capacity. And so I think that dent is such a humongous blow. Like Jaywalk was saying, USC is a place to where it's surrounded by 6 neighborhoods, Chicano and African American per se. That's not the place where you don't want to have the most mentorship, brotherhood, and all of these things. And so, lastly, I was there with you, Jaywalk, when you celebrated saying, "Man, I ain't been in the tunnel for this long," and then somebody came and ushered you out. And that's your home. You a Trojan forever. It levels to everything. I'm a person that's a Trojan by honorable acceptance of the brothers per se, but you a Trojan through and through. It's coaches that come and go, and those people that transfer, they're Trojans for life. But all praise due to God, sometimes the people who get higher are not necessarily Trojans for life. So Jaywalk, salute to you for all the effort that you're doing to become a Trojan for life and ushering the brothers into manhood and godliness. I love you, and I'm hearing you how cautious and strategic you are. May God increase and reward you.
I appreciate you, brother. I receive it, and and yeah, it's an undescribable pain.
Yeah, man. I mean, when you've been a part of the pro, when you laid it all out there on the field, and Keith, you know this as well. Keith, you can speak to that more. And
Oh yeah, I haven't
just
been on the field. I haven't been on the field since 1985, bro.
are you serious?
And bro, just I remember I told you this not too long ago when I was on your cast. When I went to Heritage Hall and introduced myself, and they looked at me like, "Who?" They actually said, "Who?" I was like, "Bro, are you serious?" No, man, he's not lying.
But hey, but Keith,
It's
it wouldn't be a who. It wouldn't be a who if they kept those relationships up. If
right.
they would have kept you guys around, it wouldn't even be a who. And I to me that's almost like blasphemy because you always have to connect the past with the future and the present because I mean that's how you keep the past alive and that's how you hold to some of the tradition. And to me, some of us, that covers it now, which is the current state of USC football, guys that used to be even before Jaywalk's time, and Keith, you were a little bit before my time, like, Sutam, all these guys, man, RJ Sauer, like, I grew up, Keyshawn Johnson, like, this was, to me, that was Southern California. That was South Central. To me, that's what represented it. And to not really, to see that disappear, and you kind of just see, yeah, thank God I got Jaywalk with me and you, Keith, because otherwise, you know what I mean? Those memories won't, get told like that. And I thank God we able to tell them some of the stories on here. And Jaywalk, somebody like Jaywalk is able to tell us to bring up those stories that some may not know.
Absolutely. Because
So
the 80s was wild. But that's another
yeah,
time.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Kamasi, man, hey, thank you, man. And hey, oh, by the way, for those who don't know, this is Kamasi, man. When we feed the homeless downtown, Kamasi is the one that had Mason Cobb and Anthony Lucas. When I did the live, that was Kamasi. He was down there. We did the pizzas, we did all that for the homeless, and he does it every year, pretty much. He does it
Yes,
every
he
year.
does.
And so, for those who don't know him, man, big salute to him. His work is in the background, but he does a lot of good for the community. So,
It's
Kamasi, man,
hard
appreciate you
work.
stepping in, family.
Sure.
Man, I appreciate y'all as well. John Walker, he's the one who set the precedence of pulling up with a boatload. I mean, he couldn't even see out the window with all the pizzas he pulled up with. Glory be to God. And really the intention is all kingdom work. All glory goes to God. It's all
Amen.
looking for that deed or that grace that the Lord would be pleased with, Mary Magdalene style. And so, glory be to the Lord. That's what the Lord wants the believer to be great and give him all the praise in football and whatever it is. And so, I love y'all brothers. Y'all my prayer warriors. And those little brothers, we want every single one of them to go to the NFL. That's the difference. Anybody in that locker room, we want them to get a head start and get to their goals. And so, yes, that's why we want them all to get their opportunity and share with family, because that's what it's for. So, glory be to God for football, that creation. That's the reason why I never walked on the grass, because I felt like God created football for us to get a head start. Us, all of those who need it, humankind, not just Africans that live in America. God bless you all. May
All
God
right,
be
love you,
with
big
all.
dog.
Me
Hey, we
too.
appreciate you, man.
Right on.
God bless you all. Yes, sir.
All right, family. Christian, sorry for the wait, man. How you doing?
What's
This
good,
will be the
brother?
last one. We've been going kind of minute. What's your thoughts, man? How you doing?
What up, Chris?
What's going on, J Rock?
Hey,
What's going
Chris.
on, Keith?
All
What's going
right.
on, brother? Man, I think how we ended the season. I mean, I know it's the Las Vegas Bowl, but to pull the Texas A&M matchup, I mean, I think we got to be grateful. It could have been the Sun Bowl, and it could have been, a lot less what we would consider a competitive team. I mean, going into the season,
saying we're going to play Texas A&M in a bowl game, we would imagine it was going to be a pretty good bowl, right? Two well-known names. Um, my biggest fear is I don't know what to expect as far as who we're going to be able to play, right? With the NIL, with the portal, with the amount of seniors we have. Offensively, I don't think none of our three senior starters probably will play. They all going to make it to the NFL, right? Two linemen and a running back. Defensively, so many people gone. We're losing edge rushers already in the portal that's not seniors. So it's going to come down to like what can we put out on the field? Like who's going to actually be there? And right now, I'm a little hesitant to say I don't know. I don't know what this team is going to look like come that bowl game, right? It's not like we
Hey,
can bring transfer players in and they can play. All we can do is play without the ones that we're losing. So that's a big disadvantage within
hey,
itself.
listen, for me personally, I'm going with whoever shows up and puts on that uniform and steps on that field. That's who I'm going with. I can care less who's going to show up to play, NIL transfers, all that. If they want to go. I'm happy for them. More power to them. But Jay, I'm old school. If you a Trojan, you a Trojan. Stay Trojan.
That's it.
I got no love for you, but I love you still.
Hey, for real. For real. Hey, shout out to Roy Benuelas, man. Hey, I appreciate you tapping in, man. How you
What up,
doing?
Big Roy?
Yeah, so Christian, I mean, I don't know if you heard it, but I think it's kind of the same situation we were in last year, man. I just really believe that all the odds are stacked up against us. Had a lot of guys. Caleb Williams, the Heisman Trophy winner, he was out. A lot of guys were out. Marshawn Lloyd was out. Of course, we had a couple guys that come back, but Brandon Rice was out, if you recall. Taj Washington came back, but we had the Miller Moss era begin in that game, and USC played extremely well. And so I just feel like it's the same type of situation. I think that's the blueprint we got to follow and just come out balling, man. Just play some football.
Yeah, but I think this year is a little different for the especially losing. I don't think Pregnon in Monheim is going to play, and
Yeah,
that's two big hits
that's a
right
whole
there
nother.
because they're going to
That
the NFL,
yeah,
right? And
yeah.
because they have NFL grades, so that's going to be a big difference. And then the amount of hits we already took on the offensive line going into the portal, it's like what is the offensive line going to look like, right? In the Las Vegas Bowl. Like it's going to be drastic. I mean, because we had a couple projected starters who think was going to start next year, and the whole line already done entered into the portal, so they're not playing. So it's like what is the offensive line going to look like? A lot of players on a couple players on defense that we were saying, oh, when they got in the second half of the season, they're looking good. We're thinking they're getting more and more playing time to play next season. They've already entered the portal themselves as well. So it's like, like we're gonna be mixing matching. And what is this team gonna look like? Like, so until the portal is done and we see who officially is in the portal and gone, it's it's like I just don't know what our team is gonna look like come this bowl game because it sounds like we're having drastic amount of players that's going into the portal, and that's gonna make a big difference because, like I said, even the people we bring into the portal, they're not playing in the Holiday Bowl, so that don't help us to the spring. You know what I'm saying? To the spring and all that. But as far as for this game, like we're experiencing a lot of people leaving, and so it's like what team are we going to be able to put out there? And again, we can't expect too much. Anything outside the playoffs, the bowl game, yeah, you want to win, but let's be real. In today's football, seniors are not playing. A lot of people are sitting out, and so neither team is really going to be putting their true team out there from the season. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure both teams are going to be decimated. Texas A&M, I've been looking; they haven't been experiencing it like we have, but I mean it's definitely going to be a test because schematically wise, I mean their quarterback they're going to run that zone read. And if we play like we did against Notre Dame, and we can't stop the run, and we can't stop the quarterback from running, it's going to be a long. It's going to be a long night. But again, that all depends on who do we have in the arsenal that we can play that's staying around, that's still here, and what seniors are willing to play, or are they going to not play and get ready for the draft?
From the offensive line perspective, I agree. Jonah Monheim, he's probably out. I'm not sure if Michael Benuelos is feeling healthy. I think Alani Noah, we'll see him at the guard spot. Of course, Elijah Page is going to be at the tackle spot. Center position, that I'm wondering if Michael Benuelos, yeah, I agree with you on that point.
I don't think Pregnon playing neither.
No, and that's why him and Jonah Monheim, I didn't name them too. I'm not sure, man. I am absolutely not sure how this offensive line. Mason Murphy, I'm hearing. I'm not sure if
is Gino still here?
No, he just hit the portal too. Yeah, it's that's crazy. Yeah, so so from an offensive line,
love Gino. I just love Gino. Like I love him as a person. You know.
Yeah, it's weird, man, because some of these guys hitting the portal. I'm hearing Mason Murphy, but I don't know. It hasn't been confirmed yet. So, man, I have no idea how that's going to look. I mean, you bringing up a great point from that offensive line perspective, and that's the point. That's the thing we don't want any issues.
Well, right. It's going to be like a box of chocolates. You never know.
You never know what you're gonna get. Hey, listen, real quick. Jay, I gotta take off, man. My phone's about to kill off on you guys.
All right, Big Key.
I don't want to seem rude, but hey, I'll tune back in again, man. When going back live again?
I don't know. I think maybe sometime this week. All right,
well, I'll be in touch, man.
Okay. All right, Big King.
Bro.
We'll holler.
All right, brothers. Fly down.
Right on. All right, Christian. So look, man. No, anything else you wanted to let me put this. You want to share before we get out of here?
Yeah. Last thing, just wanted to echo what Jay Walk was saying about the past players and trying to help the youngsters, show them the right way, right? The new players and things like that, and not being able to have the access and the effect that it has on the program. My situation was not with football, but it was still with college life in that incident, right? I'm a proud member of Alpha Alpha fraternity, right? Which I don't know if everybody's aware, but there's fraternity to Brotherhood, Greek life. And we had a similar situation to where while we were there, of course we were the best, step sales, GPA, everything that goes with it, what you're ranked on. And what happened is brothers went away and graduated, but you come back, you help the little brothers, you teach them, you show them around what's expected, right? To maintain that greatness. And the boys had an issue on the campus where, they got in trouble with some hate and things, and we got what USC got. We had got the death penalty, right? So they were gone for like 3 years. And instead of bringing back the brothers to help out, that was the positive and showing them the right way to help rebuild. Saying once they got the extra yard to get it back to where it was, the fraternity on a national level decided to kind of shine everybody away. We don't want anybody to be with the program who was there around that time or around that time. No, we don't want anybody helping out. Saying from that era with the fraternity. And what happened is my chapter on the campus it hasn't bounced back yet because the people that they did put there to help bring them back, mold them, teach them all this stuff, they just wasn't equipped and didn't have that formula. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them was outside the chapter and the local chapter, so they didn't have that love and passion for that chapter on my campus, and they just didn't have the know-how and knew what it takes to be successful there. And so it still hasn't. The chapter is still there, but it's nowhere near what it used to be. Like I go back to homecoming and I'm embarrassed. Sometimes I don't even want to go back because I'm like everything that we built, the greatness that we built, and look at it now, and it definitely hurts because the things that you could have done and the things that you can bring to the table, you and the people that was there around your time and all that, and the ones who taught you, to keep that greatness going, that you have the recipe for success. You have what it takes to get it back, but you were so shone away. Now they're asking for people to come back, and I can't even get people to come back and help out because they're like, man, nah, I'm done with that. Forget that. They shunned us away. They ain't want to help now. Don't come back now that it's so bad for me to fix it. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand where you're coming from, Jaywalk, on that.
Man, I thank you for sharing that. That's an absolutely strong metaphor. Believe me, I read about all that was going on with your chapter too. Just because I had some boys who, I had some brothers as well. I never pledged, but some of my closest partners did. and so I know how they're affected by it. And they do, just like you, they liken it to the same thing we went through as a football program. And it's just, to me, like, I'm gonna bounce out of here, but I'm gonna leave the whole world with this specifically as it relates to USC football. It's pretty simple. If you just ask young men and their families 3 important questions. These 3 simple questions, you can kind of build a framework on how to get them to embody what is necessary and what they would like to get out of their experience at USC or in college football in general. Number 1, if you just ask them, what is it that you want to experience? Just write down a list of all the things within the next 5 years or so while you're potentially at this university. What are your non-negotiables that you need to experience? And then let the kids write it down. Let them meet with their families and come up with that idea. Number 2, what area do you want to grow in? What part of yourself do you want to expand upon in this life at USC? And then lastly, what do you want to contribute? What are your contributions going to be as a student athlete, as a person who is involved with this university? If you can develop that framework of these 3 most important questions, what do you want to experience? How do you want to grow and be developed? And how do you want to give back? If you can figure out what that is, you have an anchoring point to understand these are the unified goals that we all create together to build our new culture. And if you get that and establish those standards, those precedents from every single player, and then figure out what are the most common things that young people are saying they want. What are the most common experience that they want to have here? What are the most common areas that they need to grow and be developed and be nurtured and be brought up? And then what do they want to give back once they've developed this growth and once they've gotten this experience? What compels their heart to come and give back? Bro, when you figure that out as a coaching staff, as a recruiting staff, whatever it is, you're going to have some ammunition to go in and impact families the right way. You can set a tone for NIL, set a standard for expectations, and then determine which kids, which athletes you need in your program and which ones you don't. And if we can develop that framework, things will be a lot simpler. We won't be having these echo conversations over and over again about what's going on. That's my opinion, my humble opinion.
No, I totally agree. Hey, so Christian, man, I definitely appreciate you tapping in, man. We're going to get out of here. We kind of went over a little bit.
But one last thing, Jay, not for discussion, maybe come up later and I'll let you guys go. I was just curious what we can touch on later. Just curious thinking about approaching Ray Lewis as a linebacker coach.
I mean, they don't get no better than Ray Lewis, but I mean, we got to have somebody that Cliff Claiborne, guys that's actually been here, Michael Hutchins, guys that's a part of the Trojan family. To me, will be a better fit. We know that Ray Lewis is one of the best linebackers to ever play, but I just think, and Jay, you can answer. I know nobody knows better than you, but I just think you need somebody that's affiliated with USC, man.
I think
away with hiring all these. Yeah, go ahead.
Nothing to get me. Obviously, Ray Lewis. That'd be equivalent to getting Jerry Rice at receiver coach or Dion at DB coach, or whatever it is. These are legends, arguably the greatest of all time. But again, I think we need somebody who really understands the culture. South Central, USC, bled Cardinal and Gold, ate at the calf, used the rusted weights, smelled the gunmetal smell in the weight room, in the locker room. Like, we need that, because these young guys, as we have right now, they just can't borrow those experience from us because we've not had the full access to get in there and loan it to them. And that's how we grew. When I was at SC, I had old heads come back periodically and talk to us about what the heck was going on. It put things together. It built the whole story, which was made history.
When you say it just hit me, Jay. When the other caller said culture, I think that's what he meant. That's what he's referring to. I think it was Cardinal and Gold. Here he is, right here. Yeah. I think that's what he's referring to. That's That's the culture
He
issue.
wore
Yeah.
number 17. Yep. But
Yep.
that's what culture is. You know, when I was there, Spike Lee, who's a hardcore Notre Dame fan, even though he's from New York and all that, he grew up a hardcore Notre Dame fan. But in the process of being a hardcore Notre Dame fan, he started to develop a respect for USC because of the Notre Dame USC cross country rivalry. He flew from New York before the week that we played Notre Dame, the year of the Bush Push game. And he came and asked Coach Carroll, can I just talk to your players? And first things he said is, I grew up hating USC. I hated USC football because I love Notre Dame football. He said, but I'm going to tell you what you young men have done. You've made me hate USC football again because you're so good. He said, I haven't hated you in a long time because I haven't had to. You weren't playing very well. He says, but now I hate USC again because you're so good. And the rivalry is so real, and I never know if Notre Dame's going to win or lose. He says, but I want to tell you, thank you so much for your efforts. Coach Carroll, thank you so much for bringing the excitement back from the West Coast to the East Coast / Midwest rivalry. And I respect you guys so much. And he says, when I say I hate you, I mean, I just hate how good you are. I hate how awesome you are. Everybody hates when the team is the best. So that's me. But it was just such an enriching conversation coming from this little man, this stature guy with this big personality. It's a great Spike Lee, do the right thing, Mo Better Blue, like all the movies that he's been involved in. But for him to come and share his experiences in the legendary games and moments, all of us borrowed that from him. And then we had Snoop come in and many other people. I can name so many. They told us their stories of USC football growing up. What made them connect to the Cardinal and Gold? We took all that and deposited it, and then we allowed it to pour out of us as a part of our experience. And that is what might be missing here to a small degree or a large degree. I don't know. I'm rambling.
Amen. No, I agree with that. Connecting the past with the future, man, it's something that has to be done. So, Christian, man, we definitely appreciate you. J-Well got to get out of here. I got to get out of here, but appreciate you tapping in, man.
All right, brothers. Y'all have a great one.
Appreciate you, Chris.
All right,
Yes,
fam.
sir.
So, look, hey, we appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. Those who just coming in, go back and rewatch it. We appreciate you guys. Texas A&M, USC. We will have some more commentary as it relates to this game coming up. The closer it gets, and we'll kind of break some stuff down, talk about it. But look, this is the matchup. This is what it is. J-Walk, anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
We're gonna win this game, and we're gonna play well. We're gonna surprise people because we got young players that's just on ice right now that people don't even know how explosive they are, how great they are. And I think we get to see some of the younger recruits that Lincoln has been developing. And I think Lincoln Riley is a very competent, very skilled coach. I think he's just figuring out how to coach on the West Coast, particularly in California, particularly at USC, particularly in South Central.
I agree.
There's so many nuances to this that you don't understand, and you got to learn how to be a West Coast, like inner city California guy to connect with a West Coast California inner city type kid and their family, and be able to speak from a place of authenticity where they don't think you're just giving them lip service. And I think he's having a little bit of a conundrum bridging that gap, but it is going to happen because it's a necessity. All right.
Even with the media is different from Oklahoma to here. You can't even. It's a different ball game, man.
These are like media coming. They carry chainsaws, grenades, lightsabers.
They got nuke. They will nuke you. They will nuke you if you're not careful.
Light you up, bro. It is not a game.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. And my last shameless plug, I'm your boy, the Swaggy Realtor.
Put that. You got the card, Jay.
You know what, man? They somewhere. I got one right here. I don't know. Let me pull it out. I got my lovely wife on there. Let me throw it up here. Can you see it?
No, you can slide it over a little bit. Can you slide it on my side?
I'm trying. I'm trying.
All right. Keep it right. Wait. Right there. Right. Stay right there. Right. Stay right there. Stay right. Okay. So keep it right there. All right. You can see that. You see it right there, Tara and Johnny Walker. You see the phone number there. Make sure you tap in with them, man. Any real estate need that you need, Jay Walker will fill that need, man. So yeah, Jay, we definitely appreciate you. You guys can go back and watch it. Snap that. That screen is lost in the sauce.
Yeah, it was. It's my little green screen, my little background.
Yeah.
Guys, my wife and I, we are extraordinary real estate professionals, and we help our clients in so many areas, particularly in the Orange County space. But I dabble in LA. I go everywhere, San Diego, all the way wherever I need to go to help the people who need me. And you want to figure out what fighting on is like, work with us as realtors. We fight on.
Absolutely. So Jay, we appreciate you. We are getting ready to sign off. Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right,
we get ready to sign off, man. Until later on, everybody stay blessed. Man, my camera. Oh, when you get these two people, I can't even see my fingers. I gotta swing them. I had them over here, but let me. Hey, fight on.
Y'all stop laughing at us. Y'all know we crazy.